it's your boy Nobody from Sweden, and in today's video we are going to find out why and how Valve are changing CS2 skins forever and how it impacts you and me. Now, it's no secret that Valve are changing the way skins work and how you get them with CS2, with, for example, the armory pass and trading rules like being able to reverse trades. But what impact do these updates have on the game, skins, and the trust from players, and more importantly, what does Valve want to achieve with CS updates in the future? And I'll also be speculating on which updates I think we are going to get in the future. But before we get into that, I want to thank today's video sponsor, which is SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is one of the best and easy to use trading sites for CS2, and it's perfect to switch up your loadout to play with new skins. And by using the link in the description or using code ANOMALY, you get a deposit bonus of up to 35%, which is crazy. And if you're doing your first trade on SkinsMonkey, you can put code ANOMALY and get up to $5 for free. Plus, they've got a bunch of extras like freebies for free skins and free balance, and they've also got 24/7 live support. So if you want to try them out, then do so from the link in the description, and thank you once again SkinsMonkey for sponsoring this video. So, to start things off, CS2 has already had a ton of updates which changed the way skins behave. First of all, in early CS2, we had the Call to Arms update, which added custom sticker placement and also made it so you can place 5 stickers instead of 4 on your skins. This was a very unexpected update, and it improves customizability of your skins because you can place them wherever you want, you can rotate them, and you can place 5. After that was one of the updates I think might have the biggest impact on the future of skins, and that's the Armory Pass update. The Armory Pass added a ton of new different skins, but that doesn't really change the way skins work. The only thing that was really new were the charms, and the only function or feature that was new was the fact that you could detach them instead of just like stickers where you'd have to scrape them. This update literally added a permanent battle pass into CS where Valve can just keep adding skins. Another update that changes the way skins work is a pretty undocumented one by Valve. They didn't really post it anywhere, I think, but they added invisibility to skins in your inventory. Any skin in CS that has trade protection or trade hold is also invisible in your inventory, and it stays invisible even after your trade protection or trade hold is over. Trade protection or trade hold lasts 7 or 8 days, and the invisibility period lasts 10 days. For example, here I'm looking at my inventory from my own account on the right side and from another account on the left side. When looking at my inventory from the other account, you can see the first item visible is the StatTrack AK Fire Serpent, but when you actually check my inventory, you can see that I have tons of pages of skins that are on trade protection, even some skins that are in the 3-day window of invisibility that are fully tradable are not visible on the other account. Many people don't even know about this update because Valve didn't really announce they released it, but it's part of the game now. This update also made any skins or items you bought from the store or the Armory Pass invisible and untradeable on the Steam community market for 7 days. This of course kind of kills the hype for new cases because, for example, the Fever case, when it was released, everyone was just redeeming it for stars, but no one could trade them or even sell them on Steam community market for 7 days. Another huge update to skins which really changed the way trading works is of course that trade protection. This update shows that Valve are really open to changing the entire way trading works for better or for worse by adding a 7-day window where any user for any reason can revert a trade, meaning they just say, oh, I regret it, and items go back to the original owners. And these aren't even close to all the updates we got in these first 2 years of CS2. So much has changed, in fact, that all of the updates won't even fit in this single video. But there are some more updates to trading that I just wanted to mention just to show you how much has really changed in these first 2 years. First of all, Valve revamped the weekly drops you get by adding 3 brand new complete collections of skins for free. They of course also made the insane update of making golds trade upable by using reds, an update no CS player in the past would have ever thought possible. They also replaced the word rarity with quality like it is now, and I'm not sure why, maybe because of regulations, but that's a small change many people don't even know about. And finally, one of the main reasons that I'm making this video is the most recent change that Valve did by removing the Anubis package from the store and also by removing every single rare case from the weekly drop pool. They're just not possible to get anymore, which means I guess all the old cases are now officially discontinued. Obviously, Valve are ready to and have already made changes which are absolutely changing the entire way traders think and trading has worked in the past. Now the question is, why? Trading as it is has worked really well for so many years. Why does Valve feel the need to change it up? Well, I think there are quite a few very good reasons. And also, I think Valve will keep doing this exact same thing in the future, 2026 and forward. In my opinion, almost all the reasons trace back to two main reasons. One of them being Valve increasing their profit margin to try to make more money, and the second one is regulations, meaning they're kind of forced to make these changes. For example, opening CS2 cases is already completely banned in both the Netherlands and Belgium and is heavily restricted by the X-ray system in France. And obviously this impacts Valve's profit a lot because now they've already lost out on 2 countries to open cases, and if EU gets their way, maybe many more of these countries will follow, and if not, even so, individual countries can just decide, no, cases, loot boxes, not allowed. But do you know what circumvents all 3 of these banned countries and probably all the regulations that the EU might add? Well, the armory pass and terminals. Like I said, considering countries like Sweden and the EU as a whole are long considering banning loot boxes from all video games, this seems like an obvious play for Valve to ensure that skins are still relevant and have a non-loot box source, and of course continue to generate revenue for Valve. You can see these articles that I'm showing you. Some of them are from the literal government of Sweden. A lot of these other ones are motions from the UK, the USA, and the EU as well. So it's not something that just, whoa, maybe I'm just a schizophrenic. It's actually a lot of things happening. These terminals also help bring in a huge amount of money for Valve because Valve just sells all the skins in the terminal for a price they deem is a fair market price, which they set themselves. For example, with a normal case, you just use a $2.5 key and you can open a $2,000 skin. With terminals, if a skin is worth $2,000, well then Valve might sell it to you for $1,650 or another price that they set, which we've seen from when they released the Genesis terminal. So you can see, what would Valve rather do? Profit $2.5 or $2,000? Well, the choice is pretty obvious. And this is why I think Valve might be moving away kind of as a whole from regular cases because of regulations. And let's be honest, Valve definitely have a lot more lawyers and insight into these governmental changes and regulations, so they may actually already be forced to do something and take action, which could be why they removed all of the old cases from the drop pool and also removed the Anubis pass from the store. I don't know, maybe I'm just schizomaxing, I don't know. That might also be why they're selling cases from the armory pass like the fever case, but removed cases or a lot of them from the weekly drop. For regulations, maybe they say that you're not allowed to get cases for free, but if you buy them, then it's okay because then you're circumventing the regulations with a loophole, and even better if you don't purchase them for real money. The armory pass and armory pass stars, are you starting to connect the dots? I don't think regulations say that armory pass stars are real money, because first you have to buy a battle pass, then you have to put in actual grind hours of gameplay to get these stars, and then you have the stars, not money, to buy a case. Or maybe Valve are just gonna remove cases from the armory pass as well, and we're left with collections and the terminals. And this is kind of also why I think we won't have any more operations in CS2 like we did in CSGO. And that's because what were operations? Well, there were big updates with maps and new skins, and right now we're already getting new maps every so often, like every 6 months or so, and revamping old maps like Overpass, so we're already getting those map updates. Then it just leaves the skins, right? But we're already getting that from the armory, which strangely enough looks exactly like an operation battle pass, where you'd buy an operation pass, you'd get stars, and then you'd spend those stars in a store. This is our operation. The armory pass is the CS2 operation. Between operations, there was a lot of downtime when people weren't spending as much money, but the armory pass, it's always online. People can always go in here and buy skins or stickers, which means Valve keep making making a lot of money all the time. So honestly, operations are probably just a thing of the past of CSGO, which is very unlucky. And if Valve does end up actually removing cases, well, that's very sad, but of course Valve already thought of a way to profit from the old cases even if they're removed. And that's by doing exactly what they did with gold trade-ups. Adding gold trade-ups means that golds that used to be really expensive will go down in price because of supply to maybe fit within the Steam market prices so more people sell them, and it also means the reds, which used to be really cheap, are now expensive, so Valve gets a bigger cut of sales from the Steam market. This may be true, I don't know if it is, but kind of makes sense. Because Valve profits nothing from sales outside of the Steam community market. A good example of this, I think, are trade protected items. For example, I just bought this crown foil from some guy. Now I have this sticker in my inventory, but because it has trade protection, I can't apply it, I can't do anything. But you know what type of item never has trade protection? Well, that's items from the Steam community market. This terminal I just bought from the Steam market, and you can see it's tradable and marketable after the 3rd, but it doesn't have yellow trade protection text, which means I can unseal it and modify it if I wanted to, but if I had traded for it, it wouldn't have been possible. Wow, maybe I'll buy this for 37 cents. You can go fuck yourself. And if a new case released, like the Fever case, and I bought it from a third-party marketplace because I wanted to open it, well, guess what? It has trade protection, so you can't use it for 7 or 8 days, which means you can't open it. And it's true, trading outside of the Steam marketplace has become more and more annoying with trade reverses, which aren't possible on the Steam market, by the way. So what are my predictions for the future of CS? Well, I think if Valve are really forced to, obviously they're gonna remove cases, which means terminals are going to be the new big thing in CS, which is very sad because terminals obviously aren't anywhere near as fun as a normal case. If they're not forced to remove cases, however, I think we'll still see terminals being released through the weekly drop or so for free, and Valve might only release new cases in the Armory Pass, where people have to buy them for real money using stars. Because since February 2024, Valve have not released a single case outside of the Armory. The main thing the Battle Pass has had that the Armory Pass doesn't have are agent skins. It was rumored that we were gonna get fully customizable agents, and maybe this somehow plays into the Armory. And even if we don't get fully customizable agents, I still think we're gonna see some more agent stuff in the Armory because this is the main store now for Valve to sell new skins. I think that they haven't given up on agents. They may just be waiting with it for the Armory. A wild speculation that I don't really think will happen, but at the same time I wouldn't be too surprised if it ends up happening, is Valve maybe to some extent re-releasing old skins or collections in the Armory Pass. Either just straight up re-releasing old skins or maybe adding some sort of legacy modifier to them. One thing is certain, and that's that all the old collections aren't really generating any revenue for Valve, so they might find a way to re-up on those old skins. In my delusional speculative state, I say maybe the new leaked Armory Pass bidding system could have something to do with this. If they add something like that for the Armory, it could very well operate similar to the World of Warcraft black market auction house, where they would keep re-releasing old and very rare items in the game, and then users would bid against each other and then be rewarded by winning that very rare item. The leaked bidding system also doesn't use real money, but rather the stars in the Armory. This means you wouldn't be limited by the $2,000 Steam wallet balance like max limit, but rather you could just be limited by the amount of stars you can have, which is infinite. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but if it does, that would be very chaotic and also maybe a bit of fun. Anyways, that's basically all my thoughts about skins in CS, the way Valve are treating them, the future for skins, and of course, how Valve are going to treat them with updates in the future. Will I be right? Well, only time will tell. Thank you guys for watching. Now I'm going to go reminisce about the glory days of operations in CSGO, a very good time that I don't think will ever be getting back in CS2. Whooping! First of all, Valve Valve